What's up, YouTube? It's your girl, allegedly A-lease, and I'm here to give you my thoughts and my opinions on Ready to Love, Part 2. Let's talk about it. Before I get started, I just want to send a few quick shout outs. One to my YouTube sisters, Unique L and I'm Kyra. Thank you both so much for your support. Also to those who gave their well wishes and prayers in the loss of my fur baby, as well as commented. I don't want to leave anyone out because I appreciate you all. So of course, you know, I'm going to put your name here, and that way I don't leave you out. Also, thank you so much to those who watch but not necessarily comment. Thank you so much for your support. If you are new to this channel, welcome. I hope that something is said or done to move you to like, share, and subscribe. Now let's get into it. We pick up where we left off last week with Kyra trying to decide if she wants to continue dating AJ. For once, Kyra finally makes a decision. She says that she is no longer checking for AJ because he's full of games. You just figured that out. Next, we hear from the gigolo formerly known as Sir Kiss-A-Lot, also known as Troy. Tommy asks Troy if he learned anything from this experience. And this fool basically says, watch what you say and do on camera. So your games are okay off camera? Bye, Troy. Moving on to Jason and Kyra. Jason says the thing that turned him off from Kyra is the same thing that bothered all of us. The whole, I want to go all the way to the end of this process to make my decision. Jason said, sis, we're at the end like Boys to Men, ABC, BBD, the East Coast family. Make your decision. Kyra says that she feels that things shifted between her and Jason once the men all chose her. Kyra, you didn't find that out till later, sis. Production, your slip is showing. She says that Jason tried to hold Liz over her head to try and pull out a decision from her. But if that's the case, did you hold AJ over his head to try and pull out a decision? Help me. Now, sis, let's be honest. Liz coming back to the ladies and sharing how well things were going with Jason is really what got you in your feelings. Kyra then makes a felling argument that Jason had made a decision and she had not. Once again, Jason asked the question,
what more do you want from me?
Jason says, Kyra, you are smart. You're a great speaker. But somehow when it comes to you sharing your emotions, you lack the ability to communicate properly. Now, let me say this. Things have gotten really ugly on Facebook in the Ready to Love group. And I just don't think it's fair that we attack anyone's professional career. And a lot of people have stated that Kyra's probably just an ambulance chaser and she's probably not a good lawyer. That's not for us to decide. One, she's not an ambulance chaser. Let's discuss that first and foremost. She's an estate lawyer, which is a good lawyer to be. She's an estates and contracts lawyer. So one, she's not an ambulance chaser, but if she was, there are a lot of profitable ambulance chasers that I just so happen to be friends with, and they're doing just fine for themselves. Also, I just don't think it's fair that you compare her personal life to her professional life. A good example of how you should not do that is a therapist. Most therapists will tell you they can help you, but they need a third party for their personal issues. And that's fair. I mean, just because you're one way in your professional life doesn't mean that you're another way or that same way in your personal life. So professional and personal are two totally different things, and I don't think that it's fair that we compare the two when it comes to Kyra. I think we should really stop digging for things that aren't really there and focus on what's presented. Now, I'll talk about Kyra all day and the fact that she can't make a decision, but I'm talking about her personal life. I don't know anything that goes on with her professional life, and the ironic part is I know a lot of people who know Kyra. And so we're friends with mutual people, but we're not friends. But those are really good people. So I'm sure they're not just hanging out with Kyra and Kyra's not a smart cookie. So I just really don't think that it's fair that we attack another woman, and that really says something about the woman who made the post on Facebook. That must be a really low place to be for you to sit up here and talk about her being a lawyer. A lawyer is a lawyer is a lawyer, okay? She had to pass that bar, okay? So while you're judging, did you pass the bar? Did you go to law school? Did you do any of this? We really have to be careful about how we speak about our fellow sisters. We got to do better. Anyhow, at this point, they are literally talking in circles. So Tommy says, you know what? You go to your corner, you go to your corner. We need a break from you both. And during the break, it's so funny because Liz comes out of nowhere and she plays coach girlfriend all day long. That was good. That was good what you did right there. You was quick. You was fast on your feet there. You said your piece.
Good. You was quick. You was good on your feet that time, man.
Next, we take a look back at the man that Tommy says is ready to unlock hearts, phones, Uber, and DoorDash accounts. Talking about David. Oh my goodness. David says that everyone is putting 20 on 10 because he doesn't need anyone's password. He just needs your heart. Whatever, David. Please stop trying to do damage control because we saw what we saw. Well, it's the moment that we've all been waiting for to find out just what is going on with Joelle and Vernicia. Tommy says you're sitting there with nothing but space and opportunity between you. So he asks what we all want to know. What happened when the lights turned off and the cameras went away? Vernicia says 2 weeks after filming, Joelle changed and he began to downplay their relationship. Girl, most actors do when the cameras leave. But that's at no fault of Vernicia's, and definitely on production and Joelle for playing games. Oh, Vernicia said word on the street is that Joelle and Stacey are dating. Now, I heard it was chrysanthemum, but tomato, tomato. Now, Joelle claims that he never downplayed anything, but continues to back himself into a corner by saying that he doesn't have a girl and that him and Vernicia are taking their time. Vernicia says that she was told that Stacey thought that Joelle was fair game. Tommy says, girl, where are you getting this information from and why aren't they sharing it with me? Vernicia says from the cast. Stacey jumps in and she's like, yo, sis, can you leave me out of this? Because it's not really Frick that you need to be checking. It's really Frack that's dating your man. I'm just kidding. But she was like, for real, can you leave me out of this at this point? I don't have nothing to do with your man. Vernicia is like, look, Stacey, if I'm wrong, my bad, sis. But you really did overstep my boundary lines when you had your hand on my dude's chest. And to this day, Joelle and Stacey are still denying that that ever happened. Joelle then shares that Amber reached out to him when his mother-in-law passed, but not trying to be funny, Joelle, allegedly you and Courtney had already divorced way before she passed away. Anyhow, Amber says if you need anything, just let me know. Even if it's just to go get a bite to eat, I got your back. Come to find out, Vernicia said that she would have been upset if Joelle took Amber up on that offer. Vernicia says, look, y'all gonna stop making me look like I'm the A word. And I hate to use that word for real in any sentence with my sisters, so I just will not use it again today. Now, Tommy says, Joelle, let's be real for a second. You and I have had these conversations about your lack of communication. Could that be the issue that we're experiencing here? And Mr. IMDb says, no, not in his opinion. Now, although both say that they don't believe that anything could be repaired at this moment in time, Joelle, for some reason, can't seem to leave well enough alone because now he wants to talk about how Vernicia says, I wish a woman would. Now, I don't blame Vernicia. Is she clingy? That's subjective. But you can't act like you didn't know this going in because she showed you that when you all first started talking. My girl Vernicia says, Joelle wants me to chase him. And for the record, I don't chase no man. They chase me. To Tommy's point, I thought that this was a legit couple until I saw Joelle's film credits. And really, honestly, at this point, my heart goes out to Vernicia because she came in this ready to love, and he came in ready for another film credit.
No so-called heel figure. She want a patient man that knows how to deal with her. Works hard, handle business, and not to mention, he makes sure she has his attention.
I want to take this time out to record this non-traditional time capsule is what I call it. Something I normally would do for my children. but I want to include my fans, people who genuinely support me through Facebook, Instagram, or people who are just in my life on a day-to-day basis, who support me as an aspiring actor or a motivational speaker or anything that I do that's related to inspiring people in a really good way. I'm in my trailer on set of a production. I was fortunate to land another co-starring role. And I thought about it. I said, I should thank people as much as I think about it. I think about it all the time. So I want to thank you guys personally for supporting me. I would like to add in that I should not be here. If my past was on the table, you'd say I wouldn't be here. But this is what making room for improvement today is all about. Follow your dreams.
Oh my God, do we have to do this? Y'all, it's time for David to do some more damage control. Now, immediately following the montage, Tommy jumps right in and he wants to know why during the elimination scene, David went all cray-cray and didn't want to have to hear what Liz had to say. See, this is why I can't with David. This whole adult-sized boy says that it's a lot that goes behind that scene. Clearly your ego, but keep talking. Tommy says you absolutely did pull the "let me quit before I get fired" card, and it wasn't cool. And it wasn't cool that you put Liz on blast in front of your friends about her kissing Jason. So what if she kissed Jason? It is a dating show. Maybe that's what's wrong with you. You should probably get to kissing some more folks. Now, Tommy doesn't let his foot up off the gas or off of David's neck. He continues to give him the business. He says, your last date with Liz was quite alarming. You came in hot, bruh. You came in hot. Oh my God, David, you have an excuse literally for everything. I'm starting to think that you really didn't pledge Kappa Alpha Psi. You just claiming something, because Greeks live by the code of no excuses. Excuses are tools used by the incompetent that could never ever be corrected. It builds monuments of nothingness. And David, you looking a lot like a whole lot of nothingness right now. Anyhow, David says the reason he came in hot was because off camera, Liz called him and said she heard that she wasn't his number one. David, the lies you tell. Oh my God, Pinocchio. Y'all, then this man says the best thing that he could have ever done for Liz was to self-eliminate himself. Who told you that? The little man in your head? Listen, the best thing you could have ever done was leave because security was going to self-eliminate you the way you was acting. Tommy says, well, since you brought it up, let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room, because that's not how any of this works. You want to remove yourself, you need to come see me, or else your self-elimination means nothing to me. Tommy sounded like the Wiz. He's the Wiz and he lives in Lost. Tommy said, you better ease on down the road. Don't you carry nothing. That might be a load. You better ease on down that elimination road. Now, to Tommy's point, David sat there and told Andrea and Stacy that they were not ready to love, but when it became his turn, he couldn't handle it. David is clearly his mama's special baby, because he's literally all over the place in this conversation. Now he wants to apologize to Liz. But how do you apologize without actually saying, I apologize? Leave it to David. This fool says, I want to genuinely apologize. Because you know how you felt. What? Say the word apologize, David. Do you know what that word means? Clearly, Liz is over it just as much as we are, because she says, you know what? It's fine. It's all love between me and Jason. I'm just kidding. She's like, it's cool, whatever. Now, why David felt the need to get up and give Liz a hug still puzzles me. But Liz is a trooper. Liz got up and gave him that mother of the board, usher board president church hug. You know, the one where you pat, where you saying, all right, this ain't what you want here. In the name of Jesus, go on now. Take that hug and go. Side note, is it just me? Was I seeing stuff? Or did David actually try to sneak a kiss from Liz when Liz pushed him off? David, you ain't slick. I am convinced now more than ever that David needs to spend time alone in a padded room, hugging himself for a long, long time. It's now time for the couple of the season, Liz and Jason, minus the sister-wife Kyra. As they show the final scene of their commitment ceremony with Liz saying, Mama, I got a man and I'm bringing him home. I'm sorry. Oh, pause. Whew, I digress. As they show that, Poor Kyra looks on with this plaster smile on her face. In the words of my parents, though, you study long, you study wrong. And in Kyra's case, baby, you study alone. Liz says that she appreciates Jason's honesty and consistency. Jason says that Liz allows herself to be pursued, and she allowed him to go through the process to figure out what was best for him. Now, I don't agree with that, but okay, whatever you say. Now, after they cut to Kyra's facial expression again, I'm not too sure that Kyra actually cares about the fact that she's not with Jason. To me, it looks more like Kyra just doesn't like to lose. I feel like if Kyra and Jason would have ended up together and they both committed to each other, she would have went on that trip and came back 2 weeks later and said, you know what? I need to love me. I don't think she wanted Jason. I just think she wanted to win. Tommy then goes around the room for a final update. David says that he's dating somebody and it's new. Who you dating? The man in your head. Alexis says that she's at peace and her king will come. Amen, Tamala man. Take you to the king. Meanwhile, AJ says that he's going to continue to put himself out there and mess up a few more lives with his poor decision-making skills. Chrysanthemum says she's going to continue to date. And my question is who? Is it Joelle? And you just let your homegirl take all the heat? And finally, we close it out with our 2 surviving couples, KG and Amber, and Liz and Jason. Jason says he wants to go to Hawaii. Tommy says, talk to your homeboy Troy. He'll take you to Hawaii. Stacy says, not without a kiss. And I mean, as soon as they say cut, the gigolo is back in full effect. This man talks to Tommy and says, you know what? You can give me a do-over too, like you gave KG. Why don't you go ahead and let me go and fly into DC and film there? What, so you can mess up somebody else's life, sir? Sir, you've messed up enough lives. Thank you. No, thank you. And that's where we leave it, you all. So I want to know, what are your final thoughts about this season? Let's chat about it down in the comments. Until the next time, I'm allegedly A-lease. Peace.